Imagine your life as a computer. Sometimes it runs smoothly. Apps open, files save, and connections are fast. But then, suddenly, it all freezes. What is the first thing you would press when that happens? Well, I personally would press those three magical keys: Control, Alt, Delete, and instantly the system restarts. Now, here's the idea I want to discover with you today. What if those three keys aren't just for computers? What if those three keys are the keys to restarting your life? Well, I discovered that not on a computer, but through my very own journey with two very different passions: martial arts and classical dance. Since a very young age, I was absolutely fascinated by martial arts. I watched every karate film, I practiced kicks in the living room, and I broke a few things too. At the very same time, I was equally drawn to classical dance. The rhythm, the expression, the storytelling had a profound effect on me. Well, that's where the conflict began. Because you see, both my dance teachers would tell me, if you continue martial arts, your movements will never be smooth. You can't perform your dance pieces right. You can't do this. In other words, choose. Be a dancer or be a fighter. But my heart kept saying, why not both? So I chose both. And that's where the real struggle began. In dance class, my movements were awkward. My body was too stiff. My classmates laughed at me. One even joked, instead of dancing, you look like you're fighting invisible ninjas. I laughed with them. Because what else could I have done? I felt like this flame so fragile, flickering, about to be blown up. Every smile on the outside was like this mask on the inside. Sometimes, even my teachers lost their patience with me. They would separate me from my batchmates when exam time would come. I felt broken, rejected, defeated. I was ready to give up. But then I realized I couldn't control my classmates' laughter, my teachers' decisions, and what others thought of me. But what I could truly control was my focus, my practice, and whether or not I kept going. So every day, I stood in front of the mirror, I practiced my movements, my expressions, my body posture. Well, sometimes I still look like a karate fighter trying to dance. But slowly, things began to change. Years passed, and the results came. I finally earned my black belt in karate. I won several competitions. And surprisingly, even my dance improved. Even my dance teachers noticed that. They gave me bigger opportunities. And finally, I earned my diploma in both Kathak and Bharatanatyam. This journey taught me the true meaning of control. See, control isn't about dictating every outcome or silencing every critic. It's about mastering your own effort, your persistence, your resilience, even when the world says no. So next time when life feels overwhelming, ask yourself, what truly is in my control right now? And that's where resilience begins. Now, the second key, alternative. In life, you're often going to face situations where you feel like things are not going the way you planned it. What do? You change your perspective. For me, the biggest turning point of my life was when I realized martial arts and classical dance weren't enemies, they were allies. Karate gave me discipline and focus in dance. Dance gave me expression, even during karate demonstrations. Well, I didn't have to abandon any one of those. I just had to try and make them work together. Now, the third key, delve. delete. For years, I carried the baggage and weightage of rejection. The sting of being told, you can't do this. The laughter of my classmates, I carried it everywhere. Every time I stepped into my dance class, my classmates would whisper, you can't do this. Let's be honest. How many of you still carry the weightage, the baggage of your past, rejection, your mistake? Please raise your hands. Well, I think pretty much all of us. Until one day I decided it's time to press delete. Now, I didn't delete the experience, I learned from it. I deleted the fear, the power it held over me. I let go of it. And most importantly, I deleted the thought that my worth was defined by my peers' laughter, by my peers' opinions, by everyone's opinions. Well, when I pressed delete, I felt free. I danced more gracefully. I fought with more confidence, and I lived with more courage. Because you can't step into the future if your memory is overflowing with the past. So next time life freezes, what are you going to do? Will you just quit, or will you press Control or Delete? Well, even now when I look back, I smile. Because the very thing that I was told is impossible to manage, balancing between martial arts and classical dance, has become my biggest strength. And now, even now, people tell me, while dancing, you look like you're about to kick someone. Well, I smile. Because they're not entirely wrong. I'm not just a dancer, but I'm also a fighter. And I'm proud of it, because that's what makes me unique. So here's a piece of advice. Next time you feel like your life has frozen, you feel rejected, defeated, you feel like you're good for nothing, remember, you already have the keys to restart. So don't just control or delete your computer, but control or delete your life. And when you do that, you realize you can rise again stronger and unstoppable.